this off.
Okay, I'm Kit Bodner. This is
Smith.
George Crocs, and we're talking about always be charging. That is like the big name of South by Southwest. The thing everybody's doing is charging their iPhones, because Apple, you made an awesome product, but the battery life sucks.
So we're here at the Pepsi Podcast Playground because this is the only place where we can find a power outlet. So we're doing a podcast
while
to
we're
get
charging,
power,
right?
Because that's how we roll.
Because, yeah, I mean, we were walking down the hallway and they were like, you couldn't get an empty outlet. Everybody's just sitting out. We went to the Blogger Lounge and every outlet strip is full of just laptop power.
There's going to be an electrical fire somewhere and people are going to die. Twitter will save them. So
the electricity surge in downtown Austin, Texas being used. I mean, I'm talking, we were out last night and you got guys like standing up against the wall, like holding an iPhone like up here because the power outlet's in the ceiling and they unplugged the light to like hold their iPhone up. It's crazy.
So we started alwaysbecharging.com.
Yes.
It's here to chronicle as much photographic, video, testimonial evidence of this always be charging thing. And so we wanted to launch it with this little podcast so we can get some juice while we do it. And
So that's what we're talking about. I guess we'll talk a little bit about South by Southwest for a minute, since we kind of told you what always be charging is. But we're probably going to do a couple of these videos because the next couple of days we're probably going to have to freaking charge everything again. So, but you went to the Zappos keynote.
Yep.
I went to that. What did you think of that? That was earlier today at South by Southwest.
Coming from someone that works with a brand that is sold at Zappos, they're an amazing company. Tony is a true leader. I tweeted actually that, that's someone that leads people, and that's why Zappos is as successful as it is, because he really had that vision and he followed through on that. And a lot of companies talk about vision, talk about like what they want to be, and they don't follow through on that. And I think Zappos has, demonstrated that they do, and it's been so transparent that sometimes you're like, it can't be that cool, it can't be that great.
It's like that girl in like high school who always got straight A's and like was the debate team, and you're like, how are you so perfect?
Yeah, and that's what it seems like, but then they're so authentic that you have to believe that it's true. So, that's the beautiful thing, and I hope to make the corporate culture at Crocs that way, because I want to live that way. I want to be happy, and that was the big thing that Tony talked about, was happiness, and it's power. So
well, it seems like this whole conference is about technology and learning new things and how technology is a catalyst for everything. But it seems like out of everything we've heard in the past first 2 days of this conference, it really comes back to be interesting, create valuable, interesting information that is helpful to other people, and then lead. You're talking about being a leader, displaying leadership skills. If you can do those two things, you can be successful in any, whether you're a startup or a business looking to use social media or any of these things. It seems like that's the key.
That's the total, I totally agree. And it's not just, here we have all these tools now, and I apologize for my voice. We have all these tools now that allow us to really be ourselves.
Right.
And that's, you pursue happiness on your own individual path. And it's really a powerful thing. So whatever these social tools, it allows us to be more of an individual by using these same tools to communicate. It's almost like this little mad science experiment that's really has the potential. So you don't want to necessarily, it's not about how to do this on Twitter, copy me. It's not about this is how you do this is how you do that. It's about be yourself. Because, everyone has their own interesting story. Everyone has their own ideals for what happiness is. And we own the printing press. We own the video studio. We can create what we want to at least show the world what our happiness is.
I agree.
And then as you do that, you'll get that influence, and people will trust you because you're authentic and you're real. And those are the rules.
Right. And that's what's happened. And that's the common thread amongst all the panels, all the speakers, the people that you're meeting, just in the hallways here. The people that are successful are doing those things. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
And they know how to have fun. And part of being yourself, I think, is owning it, being honest, being funny, and who you really are, instead of feeling like you have to be this button-up kind of personality to fit in with everybody.
Yeah, button-up is boring. I'm not buttoned up. As you can tell from the lost voice, I'm definitely not buttoned up. And if Kip wanted to share stories,
I could, but we Well,
we won't for the sake of everything. That's all we got, I think.
I think so, but again, alwaysbecharging.com and really
TalkSocialNews.com.
Talk Social News. We're doing live
usually
show
with
every day.
Wayne.
With Wayne.
Wayne.
Wayne's not here. He's actually sitting in a session. I wasn't a big fan of the session I was in, so I bounced, and I think George was in the
Same
boat.
thing.
So we're charging, and again, we may do another one of these so that we can charge again.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.